Policies often shift based on leadership, economic conditions, or even electoral needs, rather than consistent ideological commitments. We'll be taking examples from Nigerian political and economic history. And on this note, I say good morning and welcome to the agenda, where we dissect the issues that shape our nation. I am Chike Obogo. I'm coming to you live from Iagoku, Ibadan, the heart of Oyo State. Today we tackle a topic that is at the heart of Nigerian governance, and that is pragmatism over ideology. In Nigeria, policies rarely stick to rigid ideological lines. Whether you're a capitalist, or you're a socialist, or even you're a welfarist, or otherwise. Instead, they shift with the president in power. They come with their own ideology, their own modus operandi. It also shifts with economic pressures like oil prices or even inflation, or the urgent need to win votes. When they want to win votes, they come up with different policies. From fuel subsidies to exchange rate policies, from security approaches to economic reforms. It is often survival and practicality that win over consistent principles. You can join this conversation this morning by dropping your messages via the app X. The handle is at Dominion Cast. I'll be reading out your messages later on. But joining me in the studio this morning is a distinguished guest. He's a businessman. He's an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers. He's a politician. Honorable Dr. Gbemileke Alagbe is known widely as Elenia. Thank you for being here. Suffice me to call you Elenia.
Thank you for having me.
So, why did they call you Elenia? Where did that name come from?
Well, the name came from the university days. Because I was involved in university politics, that is campus politics. And oftentimes, my way of doing politics revolved around people. You know, then people, at the time, people were using posters to lure people to get attractions and to get tractions. But instead, I was going from campus, from hostel to hostel, meeting my people one-on-one. On the day of election, I was projected to lose that election, but I won that election massively. I doubled the vote of my opponent, who was using posters.
Wow.
So that was people who started calling me Elenia, meaning that my philosophy revolved around people.
So at that point, you had a populist view, a populist approach.
I always have a populist approach to governance.
But do you think it's still feasible at this present dispensation?
Yes, populist approach to governance is visible. But we need to look at who is the person in charge, who is the driver of that agenda or that approach. Because in Nigeria, oftentimes, as you said earlier in your intro, our politics is driven by economy. It's driven by the circumstances that we face ourselves as a nation, and it's not driven by ideology or a deep-seated belief that we have. Rather, we just want to win an election. Once we win this chapter, next election, somebody else come on board. There is no consistency in achievement. There is no consistency in development. There is no consistency in policy.
And these consistencies we're talking about deals with pragmatism. Now, let's look at the broader picture now. If we say pragmatism as a politician, pragmatism over ideology, in the Nigerian context, what do we mean?
Well, in the Nigerian context, what it means is that you need to be in power first for you to be able to execute that your idea.
Okay.
That is the practical aspect of it from the political class. And a political class, what drives every elections It's not the party idea, because most of the political parties are not, they don't have their ideology at all. We don't have a clear-cut ideology. Nigerian political parties don't have a clear-cut ideology.
They don't have a clear-cut
no
ideology.
Political party in Nigeria has a clear-cut
It's just a
ideology.
vehicle to get you to where you're going to.
Where you are going to. But when you get there as an individual, you need to carve a need for yourself. You need to be able to make sure that your identity is seen in your implementation of program and projects, in your policies. So some individuals have been able to strive ahead of others because they have identity and they have a plan, they have a drive, but if you don't have a drive, you believe that election should be every circle, you fall into the trap of what the present president fell into, because he started campaigning the first day he came into power. And obviously, that will not help his implementation of policies, it will not help his agenda, it will not help in terms of performance.
That could be his strategy. It could just be his own political strategy.
That is a self-inflicted
Many people will say he's all about politics, not governance.
But that you know, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, when you are done with your tenure, people will not remember you for the politics you play, but they will remember you for how far you have implemented or how the policy you use that affects their life positively. So we need to think beyond the political aspects. We need to think to where you leave power. Today we remember Awolowo, we remember Akintola in the state. If you come to your state, anywhere you go, you see the symbolism, the impact of Akintola and Awolowo in the life of a common man. Is he in a Premier Hotel? Is he in Kokomo, a Cocoa House? Is he in all the spare of what they have been able to touch people's life? So if we leave power, what will people remember you for? That is the truth. And would that will make you to be able to carve a niche for yourself? That will make you to be able to create an identity for yourself, because there is life after power.
Life after power. And you talked about political parties without ideologies, devoid of ideologies. You're a member of the African Democratic Congress, the ADC.
Yes.
You joined that party for a reason. Is it for ideological reasons, or you just joined that party to be a vehicle to taking you there, to where you are going to?
Okay. Well, it's two ways.
Okay.
Now, most of us felt that the APC are frustrating the oppositions, and they'll be able to infiltrate the rank and files of the oppositions. And you can see how they'll be able to successfully use judiciary and Wike to kill PDP. We've foreseen that since 2022. We know that something like that will happen. When we have 5 governors who are Jackson, we call them Jackson 5, the G5.
Jackson 5.
Jackson 5, the Wike and the Makinde of this world. Understand? Who decided to go against their own political parties. Now, we know that once the election is won and lost, the party will suffer for it. And eventually, it's now an history that a PDP is a shadow of its former self.
Okay.
So, we want, out of political survival, most oppositions want to align and come together under a neutral platform. And that neutral platform has to be ADC. So, it's not left for, ADC is at the formation stage now. We are not yet taken off fully. Now, at this formation stage, it's not left for us to now see if we want to inject ideology into the party or not. But I can bet you, whatever is driving ADC will be better off than what is driving APC today. So
it was all about political survival, not based on any ideology.
No, the ideology could be you want to salvage Nigeria from hunger, because obviously Nigeria is in principle. Nigeria is in serious hunger. We are in deep-seated economic mess, and as a group of people, we came together to say, okay, let's salvage this country from hunger. But you need to come together first before you start creating ideology for yourself. So we, at this stage, I can bet you that we will get to that position. But presently, no Nigerian political party has a clear-cut ideology.
Even the APC with their roadmap, no ideology.
What roadmap? Roadmap that is leading us to economic depression. Roadmap that has led us to where we are today. There's no roadmap. APC have no roadmap. You talk about trader money. Where is trader money today? There's no continuity. Where is the abandoned refineries? Even this present government abandoned its own projects. The refinery started. Where is it today? It has been forgotten. So APC is not a political party, it's just a vehicle to win an election. Not even a vehicle, it's a coming together of desperate people who want to win an election every circle. I want to put Nigeria into perpetual poverty.
But they are seeing results.
No, the result
They are winning.
See, are you saying they are winning?
A party that has about 31 governors out of 36.
You can have 50 governors and not win an election. 2023.
2011,
2023
and 2015, it happened with Jonathan.
2023, they won how many states? 12. And they had a lot of governors. So it's not by the number of governors that you have. The governors cannot decide people's mandate. It's hunger that decides Nigerians' voters. It's economic situation that decides our voting pattern, not the number of governors. A governor will not come and beat me up in my house and say, go and vote on social day.
Let's get back to pragmatism and ideology. Let us take fuel subsidies. Under Obasanjo, he tried partial removal of fuel subsidy, but he backed out. Jonathan came, attempted food deregulation, but he faced protests upon protests. Buhari promised to end it, but he never did anything. And then Tinubu came in 2023, and the first announcement he made was fuel subsidy is gone. And that was a very bold, pragmatic move. Though it was painful for Nigerians, and it's still painful till today. Now, are you saying that with all this trajectory, that there are no consistent ideologies by any leader who comes into place? Or are you just saying that it's just they are just responding to conditions of Nigerians as at that time?
So thank you. Well, Tinubu, out of that circle, the misfits, you can easily pick the misfits.
And that's who?
That is Buhari and Tinubu.
Buhari
and Tinubu. Now, you don't remove first subsidy with fiat.
In a democratically elected
government. When you want to remove first subsidy, you need to understand that we are import-dependent nation. Number one. Once you remove subsidy and you float your currency at the same time, you are going to have imports-induced inflation. And when you float your currency without a cushioning effect, your currency will be as useless as whatever. In fact, it will be as useless as toilet paper. That's what was happening to Naira. Eventually, this government now go back to the era of defending the currency after messing up with the life and livelihood of many people. Most of Nigerian importers today, they will tell you that as at April 2023, dollar was at 483 or thereabouts. Today, dollar to a Naira is about 1,400 and something. Within a period of less than 3 years. So it shows that the government was not thinking when they decided to remove subsidy and when they decided to float Naira. So it could have been a systemic or systematic approach, like Obasanjo adopted a gradual process, a phases. Now, the phases could have been, okay, between so and so year, you want to remove this. Between so and so year, you want to remove this. Then this will be the cushioning effect for between so and so year. But you can't adopt removal of subsidy and floating of Naira. Every country defends its own currency. United States of America can go to war because of dollar, to show you how passionate they are about their currency. So if World Trade Organization or whatever body advise them to float Naira, it's not to the advantage of Nigeria. It is what we call neo-colonialism in political science. They're just trying to colonize us by bringing ideas that will take us century backward. And I can bet you Nigeria has gone over 50 years backward with the introduction of removal of subsidy and floating of our currencies.
But when you say that, you want to see Mr. President as being pragmatic. and which means let us survive first.
No, it's not talking about survival. It's not all about survival.
It was
It's
about killing.
It's about ignorance.
Ignorance?
Yes.
You say Mr. President is ignorant?
Everybody can be ignorant. Mr. President is a tax collector. He's not an economist.
Oh.
That is the truth. And if you get to power, you need to surround yourself with people who knows, with experts. Even the Federal Executive Council has not been constituted when he made that pronouncement. There was no advisors. It was a pronouncement. If as we heard, the pronouncement, it was not even part of his speech. So when you get to that position as a president, your word is a law. You should be careful of what you said, because what you say can throw the country into war. And what he says on that day was what led us into these positions. You need to make sure that the refinery works before you can remove subsidy. You need to have what they call local dependency on petroleum products before you. In fact, at that time, we are even exporting our crude oil. We are not exporting petroleum, the finished product. So you can't go ahead and remove subsidy for a product that we depend on other countries to refine for us. I can bet you if you remove Dangote refinery,
Yes.
and the activities of some of these Igbo traders, Nigerian currency will have been a mess by now.
Some even say it's still a mess.
It's a total mess, but it will have been worse than Zimbabwe.
But are you not worried, talking economically, are you not worried that the highest denomination of our currency, which is 1,000 naira note, seem not to have any economic respect right now in Nigeria?
Yeah, because we've not come to that realization as a country to put the round peg into the round hole. That is the truth. We need people who knows.
But we have them now. You have the likes of Wale Edun, who is a financial expert.
Will you give a man who removed subsidy on even before constituting the Federal Council?
Oh.
What these people are brought in to clean the mess, but this mess is too thick for them to be able to clean. You need to go back to the status quo. You need a total turnaround for you to do that. You need to tackle, Nigeria need to tackle the issue of correcting this mess that we have from the top by removing when you have a symbolic turnaround as a nation, you have a president who will come today and change things in reality, reverse some of this bad policy. That's where we can go there. When you make me a minister under your government, you understand, I will not want to lose my job. I don't want you to sack me the following day. I will do your bidding. What I will do, the best I could do is to clear your mess, try to clean things for you. You understand? But when I am the real person in charge, it will be a different ballgame.
When you say you're saying this because you're from a different political party from Mr. President, you're hitting Mr. President even below the belt.
I'm not hitting me any hard. I'm even being very friendly.
You're being friendly with him.
Mr. President.
Let's talk about the power sector. During Obasanjo's era, Nigeria spent so much money in the power sector. Jonathan, Buhari, now Tinubu's era. Yet, Nigerians live in perpetual darkness. What should these people do to make sure that there's a turnaround in that sector?
It's just unfortunate. And, some of you believe that we are being unnecessarily critical. But it's a reality that has befallen all of us. We are all Nigerian. We lived, even let's compare this government with Buhari government. The electricity was better. Now, every time there is this collapse of this, there is that collapse of that.
Power grid.
You understand? Power grid collapse today. You understand? Something happened tomorrow with this government. It shows that these are a bunch of incompetent people. Apology to my brother, Benkele. You want to, as a banker of that magnitude, you are managing darkness, and you have the impetus or the guts to say, okay, I want to even remove subsidy from electricity. There is no electricity in Nigeria. We don't have electricity. Any country that cannot generate its own electricity, you understand, there cannot be economic progress. And I expect much from him. It's our Egbon that when we live here, we don't know, when we see on the road, we don't know how to even talk. We don't want to say some things because it's a disgrace. It's just a disgrace that somebody like that is in that situation. It's just a shame.
You think it was a setup?
Not a setup. He's not prepared for this.
Putting
job.
him there,
It's not.
maybe
He's not even prepared for this job, because if I'm in that job, if you are setting me up, I will resign and go home honorably. Especially when I have an ambition of becoming your state governor. Who, in his right thinking sense, will now say, Menkele, we want to vote for you in 2027 in Oyo State, after bringing darkness to Nigeria.
Let's go to
This same Minister of Electricity uses power bank. Minister of Electricity, I'm sure
Minister
in his
of
house.
Power.
Minister of Power that use power bank. I'm sure in his house he uses solar. You understand? And we don't need. Why do we depend solely on hydro generation?
when we have gas.
When we have gas, when we have solar, when we have wind, we can have an hybrid system. So I can tell you, the rod came from the top. Look at a state like Abia, single states, who has been able to generate, at least shows the world that this thing is not a rocket science. So can't, as a president now, Mr. President says, if I didn't solve the issue of electricity in 4 years, you should stone me, you should not vote for me, you should do that. So now we should obey Mr. President. In 2027.
You want to obey him?
Of course, we obey someone like that. Now.
What if he was a political statement?
No, it's our father. When he says something, we should obey him.
You shouldn't obey your father by telling him you want to stone him.
No, we are not going to stone him.
Okay.
We are not just not going to vote for him.
And that's part of the stoning.
No, you say you don't vote for me. So
that's
as an
that's political stoning.
As an elder statement, we help him.
Oh, you want to help him?
Yes. He's an elder.
Okay.
It's our father in Southwest.
Well, let's get to the comments by our listener here. We have messages pouring in. Let's take a few before we come to ADC proper. And yourself. Adebayo is saying, good morning. Our guest in the studio, doesn't pragmatism help avoid rigged failures like in socialist experiments elsewhere? That's what Adebayo is asking. Let me take that question again. Doesn't pragmatism help avoid rigged failures like a socialist experiment elsewhere?
Yes, but when you look at it in our own situation, we are more of a capitalist economy.
Yeah.
And there's no way socialism will work or communism will work in Nigeria. It's just an idea. Even in the most a so-called communist state like China and Russia, you discover an element of capitalism, because those places have the highest number of the capitalists in the world. The Abramovich, the one that owned Chelsea at the time, so a lot of those billionaires came from those places. So that means the issue of communism and socialism does not really work in the true sense of it. But in a way, what we will naturally work in Nigeria is an element of populism. In Nigeria, we can have an element of populism with the mixture of capitalism. Now, when we have such in Nigeria, it will really work, because that means our policy will be tailored towards human being. We will be alien, we will be human-centric. You want to make sure that anything you do, you put that feeling of a human, and that thing must benefit human.
But let me come here. Populism, that populist view, don't you think is taking undue advantage of the gullibility of the people?
No, the truth is, hunger does not know who loves.
It becomes a weapon.
The only love for an hungry person is to give him food. And for you to be able to govern upon a community, you must be able. They must survive first. To me, human beings must survive first. Demolishing people's houses. Why do you want to demolish houses? Is it not to beautify the community? Now, those people whose houses you want to demolish, why not locate them to another place before you demolish the houses? So that when you beautify the community, those people will be happy. They'll be alive to enjoy the beauty of the community. But if you bring a higher hand, like some of our people are doing in Southwest, what is happening in Lagos? You go to a whole community of millions, you demolish. They should go to whatever they want to go to courts, go to anywhere. You understand? I want to establish company, industries. I want to put flowers here. Now, those people, when they die, we will appreciate that flowers. So you need to make sure that people who will appreciate development survive first. And they are happy to appreciate that development. It doesn't happen in the same country to just go and bulldoze somebody's house and just say, go to court. What are we looking at before that house get to that stage? So if you want to change the master plan, you will sit there as a governor or as a president and say, let me relocate these people, and you have to provide alternative. You don't throw people to the streets. If you throw people to the street, there will be high crime rates. And when there is high crime rates and all those things, the development that you claim to want to do, these people will do protests and will destroy it. So make people happy, then develop the society. So that is a populist view that I carry. And that is not based on gullibility of any human being, because that is what every human being really, truly wants.
When we talk about gullibility, it's about weaponizing poverty.
No, our government actually weaponizes poverty. In 2022, I granted an interview that almost got me arrested, that the Nigerian government weaponizes poverty against the youth. And that is the obvious truth. I hope though Nigerians don't want us to talk about it, but obviously that is the truth. Poverty is a weapon that Nigerian government uses against the populace, so that next election the election will be cheap to buy. They can buy people's vote with just 2,000, because it's only in the poor community, a poor society, that you buy votes. You can't buy votes in US. You can't buy votes in UK.
Do you also share the populist view of the present governor of Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde? Do you also call him a lenient or two?
Seyi Makinde is not a lenient. He has demolished people's houses.
But he has the populist ideology.
Like what?
He's the governor of the people.
No.
He's
when we were with him, he was with the people's governor. I cannot be with somebody who will demolish people's houses without anything.
He was your man.
He was, when he was truly ready to do what we promised people in 2019. When we are campaigning in 2018, there are promises we made. One of those promises is that we are not going to demolish people's houses without alternative. We say we are not going to borrow money aimlessly. We are going to ensure that the IGR of Oyo State grows. We are going to ensure that there is development. We are going to ensure that none of us will enrich ourselves.
He's developing the state.
What are we developing? Have you been to Okigbo?
He's building estates, developing the state.
Should we go to estates?
Yes, and he's developing the state.
Okay, maybe if our governor leaves, he should be a real estate person anyway.
Well, they've called him a real estate governor.
Okay, you say that.
No, they've called him a real estate governor.
So why do you want to start developing? Well, we are going to be in the same party very soon, I think. But the truth is,
I didn't get what you said again.
We will likely be in the same party very soon. But the truth,
myself and yourself?
Not you.
Okay.
Seyi Makinde and myself.
Oh.
But that does not mean I will not tell you the truth.
Oh, okay.
The truth is,
you are in the ADC.
Yes.
And you are saying it's likely
Mr.
Governor comes to ADC. Is that a probability or is that a certainty?
The certainty is coming to us now. He has to come back home because the umbrella has turned. I told them that PDP they had is like a Chinese car. That's no engine, no spare parts. You know, it will look beautiful from the outside, but there's no engine to move it.
But when you were a member of that party, you didn't see that the vehicle had no engine.
No, because the engine was getting knocked. That was why we had to disembark from
the gasket got burned.
Not even the gasket alone, everything just got burned.
The piston and the rings.
Everything got burned at the time.
No more umbrella.
No umbrella. Umbrella has turned now. You know, yesterday, no, that's why all of them are with us. Yesterday, Alami was with us. We welcome him to the party.
About 5-6 people.
I will be there to welcome Seyi Makinde to the party, don't worry.
Okay. The governor will be joining ADC.
But the truth is this.
What if he hijacks the party?
You cannot. We are bigger than that now. We just come and hijack everything.
A party you are still trying to grow. You are still trying to grow.
Not in Oyo State. Oyo State is almost it's a fait accompli in Oyo State. ADC are come to stay in Oyo State. So if you are coming to hijack a party, maybe not ADC. You can.
But he's the governor of the state, so he becomes a party leader.
I will welcome you as a party leader, but you have to tell him the truth. You have to tell the truth to power. You have to speak the truth to power. You have to stop demolishing people's houses. You have to stop selling lands for real estate land to benefit Oyo State people. You understand? then let's make sure that people don't suffer. Let's stop borrowing, reckless borrowing. And to me, we should not leave debt for our unborn generation. I'm a banker, a chartered banker. I don't want to leave debt for my unborn generation. Awolowo did not leave debt or burden to us. If Awolowo and co left burden to us as Yoruba nation, we will not have this space. We will not have this speed that we have as a nation.
All right, let's get to this message here. Miriam is saying, why do politicians flip-flop so much? Is it about greed or is it necessity?
It's greed.
Greed.
Let me tell you one funny thing. When I was leaving PDP, a lot of people called me and said, Bimileke, you can negotiate. So most politicians don't have second address. That is the obvious truth. They don't have a business of their own. And in my own life, I cannot vote for a man who does not have a business of his own. I cannot vote for somebody who does not have a livelihood outside politics. So those people who don't have livelihood outside politics, when you tell them to move this way, they move. Tell them to do this, they will do it because they want to survive.
So it's about greed.
It's about greed. But if you have a second address, if somebody is not doing well, for God's sake, you leave him. You leave honorably because you don't want to be stained.
Well, Adesoya Kunle here is saying, how can we build consistent policies despite changing leaders and political parties?
Then we need to build institutions.
Okay.
We need to have strong institutions, devoid of corruptions. Our judiciary has to be strong. Not the judiciary that's Wike will be, not Chike, Wike
Okay.
will be...
Wike, not Chike.
We'll be building houses for judges. Not that judiciary that we will see the truths like this, like what happened in 2023. And they will tell us that, no, may or is and was. They will start interpreting
based on
technicality and English. Reality is reality. So a judiciary that we call a spade is spade. And that is happening in African countries. It's happening in Kenya. It's happening in other places. It's happening in South Africa. The former president of South Africa today is in prison.
Jacob Zuma.
Yeah, Zuma is in prison. So, and it's happening in Africa. So, but it needs to come home. And about our electricity, we can adopt what South Africa is using. We can have nuclear energy.
Let's come to your party, and let's start from the national level. The ADC, African Democratic Congress. Many have said it's a party with several captains coming together to steer the ship. You have the likes of Amechi, and you have the likes of El Rufai, who celebrated his birthday yesterday. Unfortunately, he's in FCC custody. You have the likes of Peter Obi there. Now, the president today has launched the City Boy movement through his son. And now, many have said, okay, because Obi is in the ADC, we are going to launch the Village Boy movement.
We have already launched our Village Boy movement.
You have launched the Village Boy movement?
Very soon we launch it in Oyo State.
Okay, so in 2023, where Faro here, Ibrahim Faro, is saying youth wants ideology, like Peter Obi's obedience movement, challenging the status quo in 2023. In 2023, it was the obedience movement. Obedience has moved from Labour to ADC. Now it is the Village Boy movement. Now, what would be the ideology of that Village Boy movement ahead of the elections?
No, thank you. Even the viewers have known that the coming together of generals. Nobody goes to war with a single general. In Nigerian kind of politics, and when you look at Machiavellian principle, politics is war. But it could be a mild war.
A war without bloodshed.
It's a war without bloodshed. So, but in this situation that we have, we can't go to war with a single general. You have to go to war with the like of Obi, like of Atiku, and a lot of them. And in war, for you to, there may be different strategy. It's the conglomeration of different ideas. And I can bet you, Village Boy movement is going to drive our agenda in 2027. And a lot of other impacts. But what I just pray our leaders at the national adopt is, let's bound together, devoid of whoever have the tickets. Whoever have the tickets at our convention, let's bind together and win election. We need to have power for us to transform Nigeria. You can't transform Nigeria without having power.
You're not looking at this scenario where you launch the village boy movement and it becomes so strong. It becomes a movement that, like the obedient movement. And at the end of the day, Peter Obi doesn't get the ticket.
It will be bigger than obedience movement.
Yeah, if Peter Obi doesn't get the movement and this revolves around him, for instance, if it revolves around him and he doesn't get the presidential ticket, don't you think it will cause some cracks in the wall of the ADC?
No. Someone like me, Obi here in Los very soon. We are going to appeal to all the leaders. You may not get the ticket now, but I can bet you when you support another person within 4 years, you can become anything. It happens to Tinubu and Buhari. Today, Tinubu is the president. So sometimes you need to stood to conquer. But that does not mean that we not go for the best. And I can bet you, even if Atiku have the ticket today, Obi will have a strong impact in this government, and in this campaign. After all, these are the people who have worked together before. So, and we pray for a situation that even if Obi did not get the ticket, it should be on the ticket. There's nothing wrong if Obi, today Obi is around 60 or thereabout. There's nothing wrong if Obi is, if he didn't get the presidency, I am not praying that he should not get it. I'm not against him getting it. Let's get it clear.
Yes.
Now, I am not against him getting it. But in case he didn't get that ticket, there's nothing wrong with Obi becoming vice president, for God's sake. The vice president is the head of the economy team. Obi is very sound when it comes to economy. And Obi is a very prudent person. Give it to him. This is a former governor who does not have houses everywhere.
Are you looking at an Atiku Obi ticket?
Yes, we could have Atiku Obi ticket. And I can bet you when you have Atiku Obi ticket, the election will be over by 10 a.m.
By 10 a.m.?
I can bet you the election will be over.
In 2019, you contested election. You wanted to become a member representing, the House of Assembly member representing Ibadan North Constituency 2.
Yes.
In 2019. Now in 2027, you also want to contest election again.
I'm contesting to become governor for your state, 2027.
Yes. Governor under the ADC. And you have some other contestants, some aspirants within the party. Now, why do you want to become governor? What is it? What's the missing link? What's the X factor that Governor Seyi Makinde is not getting right, that you want to come and fix?
Thank you very much.
I know it's not time for campaigns yet,
It's not
but I'm
time
just
for
asking, what is that
now,
X factor?
Because I am a well-traveled person, I travel across Oyo states very well. I know that Seyi Makinde has tried within Oyo metropolis, within Ibadan metropolis.
Ibadan.
Now, when you look at some 5-6 local government that form of Ibadan, the state governor tried. Now, we need to take that development beyond the 5 local government that form up the metropolis. Now, go to Ibadan-led city. There is no development in Ibadan-led city. There is no single hospital in Ibadan-led city that you can call, that you can allow anybody to treat you there. Go to Ogbomoso today. There is no hospital. There is no road. In fact, when you go to Ogbomoso, you will need a lot of people to be able to push your car around, or you take Okada. Go to Oyo, there is no development. In fact, the worst it is Ibarapa. Ordinary electricity, there is no electricity in Ibarapa, there is no water, there is no internet, there is nothing working in Ibarapa. As I'm talking to you, people can call in from Ibarapa, they tell you, they confirm. And in Ibarapa, we have a lot of rivers. The electricity, for God's sake, we can have hydroelectricity, we can have solar for them, we can have a grid for them so that they will stand alone. And these are not rocket science, these are what a state government can do. So we need to bring development to the less developed society community. Then you now look at fairness, justice, and equity. I am Alagbe, I'm from Ogbomoso. Oyo South, Oyo North. Oyo South and Central have been ruling Oyo State since 1999. Akala ruled for 4 years. Oyo North is the biggest senatorial district in the whole of Oyo State. Not even Oyo State, in the whole of Southwest Nigeria. And we are being marginalized. So we now say, okay, We need to do what? We need to be given a fair share to how to access power. Because when there is equity, justice, and fairness, when power goes from place to place, there will be more development and rapid development.
It shouldn't be Ibadan
It
all the
shouldn't
time.
be Ibadan all the time. And I can bet you most Ibadan people believe in what we are saying. The late Kabiyesi, I was with him. The late Olubadan, I was with him. The middle late, I was with him on this issue. And I can bet you, he believed in our ideology that come, let power move. Alaafin before he died, the late Alaafin too believed in that ideology. I can bet you, even presently as I'm speaking, the Olubadan of Ibadan land, we believe in the ideology that power should move to other places. So power should not only concentrate in Ibadan alone. Let power move.
But do you blame the Ibadan power tussle in the sense that you said your north is the biggest constituency,
That
local governments, that's merging? Because in Ibadan alone has 11 local governments and seem to be the political headquarters. So don't you think people should just align with the Ibadan concept instead of going to Oyo North?
You are getting it wrong. 24 to 11. That is a big figure. Even those voting pattern there. You've forgotten that Ogbomoso is the second largest city in the whole of Nigeria.
After Ibadan.
After Ibadan. So Ogbomoso is a power broker too, is a strong force to reckon with. Now compared to, they add Ogbomoso now to Okeogun. Most politicians, when they are looking for vote, they rush to us in the north. We deliver the votes. That's why when I say I pull out of PDP, I start my things, they start burning my offices in Ogbomoso. Now I'm even afraid of opening some in Oyo and Okeogun because I have offices there, but I just to say, okay, this is my office, because they will go after the office. Yes, last week they were even after my office in Ogbomoso again. Every week they come after the office. Leave us alone if you say we don't have the vote. And even Ibadan, how many people, it's all of us that stays in Ibadan. And this is fairness. I can bet you 90% of Ibadan indigenous, of Ibadan leaders believe in what I'm saying, that let power rotate.
You are a banker.
Yes.
And there's this saying, and then you want to become governor.
Yes.
There's this saying that bankers have akagom, that they are tight-fisted. And that if you become banker, as a banker, if you become a governor of Oyo State, that money will not circulate.
No, that's
people
not,
in Oyo State will cry.
that is not true, because when you ask anybody in ADC today, I'm the biggest spender.
Oh, you are the one bankrolling the party.
No,
that's
spending.
where I'm going
so
to.
No, the biggest spender.
You are the one bankrolling the party.
Spending. We are not talking about bankrolling now. Because
what are you spending on?
You are spending on people because you want to make people
So you are
happy.
bankrolling the people.
No.
You are bankrolling members in the party.
No,
you are trying to make them fine.
Of course, you want to make them fine.
Yeah, so you are the one spending
bankroll
most.
now is the problem. Yeah. But you want to make people fine.
Yeah, and you are spending more.
So it's not true that bankers are stingy. That is not true. It's
Not all of them, most bankers.
Yeah, most bankers are not stingy. It's true that bankers think before they spend. And want to spend on something important, such as affecting people's life positively. I can bet you, if I'm the governor today in Oyo State will be the happiest state in Nigeria.
If you become governor, for instance, and then there's this bill in the House, in the National Assembly for the creation of Ibadan State. Peradventure, you are on seat as the governor of Oyo State, and Ibadan State is created. What will be your first immediate reaction?
I will say good luck. It's a good thing. Ibadan State is long overdue.
Okay.
Even some of us that are non-Ibadan, we are in support of creating Ibadan State, because Ibadan is the oldest regional headquarter that has no state status. Enugu is not a state. Kano is a state, and Lagos is a state. Now, Ibadan needs to be a state to have that status that it deserves. So, if they create Ibadan State, we will support Ibadan State. We make sure that Ibadan have everything that it needs for it to function as a state, and it's long overdue for us to have Ibadan State.
For Oyo State to have Ibadan State. Well, before you go, would you be a pragmatic leader or a leader with ideology? If you be a leader with ideology, what ideologies do you stand with?
Well, my ideology
stand for?
My ideology is always Hellenianism. Eleniyan.
That's another
Amazing.
political, economic jargon.
No,
Eleniyan
because
amazing.
anybody in Oyo State understand what they mean by Eleniyan. Eleniyan is somebody who will make life easy for you, everybody. Do there be development. Something similar to Akalism, but full of development and progress. That's what we are going to have in 2027.
But you bring up some issues of pragmatism.
A lot of pragmatic issues. We face issues based on reality, but that does not mean that we'll be ideology driven and be people driven.
Finally, your message to the people of your state.
In 2027, let's watch out. Let's don't waste our votes on people because they are popular or because they are holding positions or because they are sharing money. Let's remember that we cannot sell our votes for 2,000 for 4 years. Let's vote based on principle. Let's vote based on personality. Let's vote in people that have integrity and people that move our state forward. Thank you.
All right, we've had a very fantastic discussion this morning, and we've been talking about pragmatism and how pragmatism keeps Nigeria afloat. But over-reliance risks directionless government. We need a blend, pragmatic flexibility with ideological anchors, like what Eleniyan has come up today, strong institutions and accountability. Honorable Eleniyan, that's Bemileke Alagbe. Thank you for featuring on the agenda this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And the greetings to people from Ogbomoso.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's all for today on the agenda. Stay informed, stay engaged. Chike Obogu is my name. Bye for now.